personal reason to do it, to help my sister. But then when I saw
Here it is.
So much joy, not even
the news about the coronavirus.
Alone, it made my heart so full.
That's right.
That little
The news about the coronavirus
brought so much happiness, so much happiness.
Saunders says during this health crisis, Princess will be making more pony stops at nursing homes in Northeast Ohio. Reporting for Spectrum News, I'm Enrique Correa.
As we try to return to normal, families everywhere are still having to find new ways to celebrate Mother's Day this year. Big gatherings are being replaced by virtual ones. But as our Camry Nelson reports, the pandemic isn't stopping one Ohio group from doing its part to put a smile on the faces of moms across the state.
Every year for Mother's Day, Club Aces in Dayton goes out of its way to show mothers they truly care. But like most these days, this year's celebration had to be a little different.
Right now, you know, we got to practice social distance. So what we're doing now, we're just handing out flowers to all the mothers.
Instead of giving out free food to mothers this year, they gave away more than 200 roses and over 100 bars of soap to people who drove by their location in Dayton. To Michael Bobo drove all the way from Cincinnati to visit her mother. She believes this is an easy way for people to still show their appreciation.
In this time, people are having financial difficulties. And so something free, that's beautiful that you can give to your mom, and just think if you didn't have the money to go buy something, now you have a gift to give her.
In the 6 years the club has been at this location, this is the first Mother's Day they've had to do something like this. But Greg Payne says he's optimistic about the future of his club.
Hopefully, you know, as a unit, as far as a whole, that we can get back to back working and we, you know, accustomed to doing.
And as for Bobo and her Mother's Day celebration, she hopes to make it as special as possible for her mother.
I'm going to go drop by, surprise her, and I'm probably going to watch the Michelle Obama Becoming.
For Spectrum News, I'm Camry Nelson.
A cold and breezy end to our weekend, but what's in store for this week? Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell is in the Weather Center with an updated check of your weather on the ones.
It was a bumpy evening as showers, even some strong thunderstorms pushed through, especially just west of Cleveland. Even in downtown, we measured a wind gust up over 40 miles per hour. The weather calming down a bit tonight, but still some showers passing by. Late tonight, as temperatures drop, I can't rule out a few snowflakes trying to mix in or some ice pellets as we'll head down to the upper 30s in many areas. Some frost Tuesday morning, then we turn the corner and much more spring-like weather. Unfortunately, stormy weather arrives toward the end of the week. Speaking of storms, this is a potent area of low pressure, a typical spring storm with an atypical start where we had temperatures very cold this morning. It was strong enough to get instability all the way up to Lake Erie, allow for some severe weather to develop, in some cases without even lightning, and then the cool air coming back in on the back side of that as temperatures drop off tonight toward the upper 30s. Secondary front comes in behind that, and that'll spell us with a chance for some frost by Tuesday morning. Here's Futurecast here through the night. Rain showers, don't be surprised if you wake up before dawn and there's some snow falling. Temperature is going to be about 35 to 40 degrees. We'll see things transition back over to passing rain showers into the afternoon. Well, look at these high temperatures by 3, 4, 5 o'clock, still only in the 40s. Winds off the lake. Just not a great Monday, but just got to hang in there. Because as we turn the page into late Tuesday, after a very chilly Tuesday morning in the 30s with frost, maybe even a hard freeze, the temperature gets dialed back up very quickly as we head toward the second half of the week, already back in the 50s by Tuesday afternoon. So here's your Skycast. In the morning tomorrow, perhaps some rain mixed in with some snow. Don't be surprised if you see that. No snow accumulation, but just kind of a blustery, raw day for us Monday with passing rain showers back during the afternoon. We'll struggle to get out of the mid-40s. We'll drop off quickly into the 30s Monday night. A threat for frost early Tuesday morning. Once we get past Tuesday, though, we really turn around. Take a look at the extended forecast. 54 Tuesday, approaching 60 Wednesday. Then we jump into the 70s Thursday and Friday. Unfortunately, we have to deal with more showers and storms as we head toward the end of the week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll break down this in your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Right now, here's a live look at your Storm Track Doppler radar.
officials are calling on Georgia officials to take action in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. We're going to hear the latest from Atlanta's mayor just ahead. But first, here are some resources to help you and your family.
Weather in Ohio is changing all the time.
We get winter one day and 60s the next.
At Spectrum News 1, our goal is refreshingly simple.
We bring you an accurate, reliable, and local forecast every 10 minutes.
We have an incredible, experienced team of people.
We don't just know about the weather, we know about Ohio.
You never have to wait for your forecast with your Weather on the Ones.
Weather on the Ones, every 10 minutes, exclusively on Spectrum.
Plan their day.
Welcome to Your Morning News. I'm Sophia Constantine.
Let's take a look at your weather on the ones. We've got a large band of precipitation.
Your Morning News, weekday mornings on Spectrum News 1. Sunday mornings, take an in-depth look at your community. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, a half-hour show dedicated to the important issues, driven to bring decision makers together, and committed to elevating discussion and debate. Your community, your state, your show. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, Sunday mornings at 10:30 on Spectrum News 1. Exclusively on Spectrum. Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Weather and the sky has always fascinated me, and I live with what I do. I come home, look at the weather forecast, and it's really a part of my life. It's not just a job, it is my passion. I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell. We have a very experienced weather team, and we know what's important to Ohioans as they make their plans every day, because we are part of the community. I'm Eric Elwell, Chief Meteorologist, Spectrum News 1.
Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms is calling the shooting death of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery heartbreaking and a modern-day lynching. Two men are accused of chasing down and shooting Arbery, who was jogging and unarmed in coastal Georgia last February.
Here it
Bottoms
is.
said Sunday that video of
The
incident
news
led
about the
directly to arrest.
coronavirus.
I think that's absolutely the reason that they were charged.
That's right.
I think had we not
The
seen
news
that
about
video,
the
I don't
coronavirus.
believe that they would be charged, and it is it's heartbreaking. It's 2020, and this was a lynching of an African American man, and I think that my heart goes out to his family, but I think again it's a part of this bigger issue that we are having in this country.
A father and son, 64-year-old Gregory McMichael and 34-year-old Travis McMichael, were arrested Thursday and face charges of murder and aggravated assault. Today, sons and daughters around the world are thinking of new ways to say I love you to mom, how the power of music is helping on this unusual Mother's Day. Next.
We'll turn our attention now to the threat for frost later this week, followed by a dramatic change in our weather pattern. Just how warm it gets by the end of the upcoming week, my forecast on the ones is up next.
the nation's doctor, I often get asked, what should I do if I think I might have coronavirus? People who are sick should stay home. You don't go to an emergency room. You don't go to a clinic. You get on the phone and you ask for advice and instructions from your physician. We don't want you to go into the ER or the doctor's office without talking to them first because you might spread coronavirus to someone else. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
Because it's the real story of us. It's the real story of community. I'm Mary Lee Melendez, anchor reporter, Spectrum News 1.
Weather in Ohio is changing all the time.
We get winter one day and 60s the next.
At Spectrum News 1, our goal is refreshingly simple.
We bring you an accurate, reliable, and local forecast every 10 minutes.
We have an incredible, experienced team of people.
We don't just know about the weather, we know about Ohio.
You never have to wait for your forecast with your Weather on the Ones.
Weather on the Ones, every 10 minutes, exclusively on Spectrum. Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Maybe I'll run for president, maybe I won't, but I will tell you that I'm not going to go away.
I don't think Michigan can become the Michigan of old.
We're probably the first professional sports team in the world that was built by the fans.
We're the biggest ice cream shipper in the nation, setting the standard for American ice cream.
I get to live my dream. I mean, what more could I ask for?
Conversations, Sunday and Tuesday night at 9 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Good Sunday night to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Galwell. Hopefully you had Mother's Day without too many problems with the weather.
Yeah, it is.
Some though, and you can see where we had some damage reports of some strong winds in and around the Cleveland metro area.
That's right.
Reports
the
there
news
at
about
the
the
Lakefront
coronavirus.
Airport of nearly a 50-mile-an-hour gust there over toward Vermilion, and points west from there, 40 to 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts came through there. Some tree damage reported out of some of these thunderstorms. Luckily, as they moved east, they weakened somewhat. There was quite a bit more action down across Columbus, Dayton, and Cincinnati, where they had numerous reports of wind damage and power outages. At one point, nearly 20,000 people across Ohio had no power. We're seeing that number drop now as storms exit and move out. Cold air moving in. A good bet for frost by the time we get to Tuesday morning. But as we get past that, a dramatic change in our weather pattern. We'll flip the switch from winter-like or early spring-like to late spring and early summer type weather by the time we get to the weekend. We're talking about a pretty dramatic warm-up. The issue with the warmth will come a threat for showers and storms. We'll have showers tomorrow, perhaps mixed in with snowflakes. But as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, a chance to dry out as the temperatures start to moderate. Then as the warmth really gets here, a front kind of gets stuck in the area. A couple of frontal boundaries approach. So Thursday into Friday, likely into Saturday, we're going to have to deal with on and off chances for showers and storms. Here's your 7-day forecast. A couple of mornings here, we may have to contend with some frost. Monday morning and again Tuesday morning, especially south of the lake. Wednesday, really the pick day. Lots of sunshine, nearing 60 degrees. But if you really want the warmth, you got to wait till late in the week. Just pack the umbrella with you if you're heading out to enjoy those temperatures in the 70s. Up to 73 Saturday. Temperatures look to stay warm even into the following week. So some good news there. Now a live look at your radar.
Soccer star and new mom Alex Morgan is celebrating her first Mother's Day. The U.S. Women's and Orlando Pride team member shared the news that she gave birth to a healthy baby girl on May 7th. Morgan making that announcement on Twitter along with the little one's name, Charlie Elena. The new mom is calling her daughter a supermoon baby since there was a supermoon present that day. Charlie's due date was back in April, but Morgan says she should have known her baby girl would do things her way. The Miss America organization says this year's competition is being delayed because of the pandemic. The organization is working with the state qualifying organizations on eligibility issues for the next pageant. The postponement means that the current Miss America will serve an extra year. The next Miss America pageant will mark its 100th anniversary. Families are finding unique ways to honor Mom on this Mother's Day. Our Dennis Viviano introduces us to an Ohio mother and son who have forged a bond through the power of music.
Mother and son Dave and Pat Stenner have found ways to connect during this pandemic, not only through video chat, but through the power of music.
It gives everybody a little bit of peace of mind to be able to see the other person and see how they're doing and actually talk with them.
Music was always a part of Dave's life. His mom, Pat, played piano and sang in the Plain City Presbyterian Church choir, where her husband was pastor. These days, Pat, who's 91, lives in the memory care community at Dublin Retirement Village. She has Alzheimer's disease.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. For the last 5 or 6 years, she would get stuck on that song, especially the intro that you don't normally hear. But she knew all the words, and it still does to a lot of those 40s and 50s songs. We're making the best of what we got with what we got, and we appreciate very much what they're doing there at the facility.
Pat is involved in the facility's music and memory program. Administrators say the power of music transcends the memories lost to dementia and Alzheimer's disease. It's enough to make the staff emotional, too.
The video brought a smile to my face because it was just another way for the resident to connect with their family through music. It's pretty amazing.
And although senior centers remain closed, Stenner will join one of his brothers this Mother's Day, outside waving to his mom, who will be watching inside through a glass window. A simple gesture, but a loving one nonetheless in this time of great uncertainty.
Yeah, we're going to bring flowers, and I always take a bag of the miniature chocolates. She will look at those and go, oh, I haven't had these in so long. I appreciate all that she has done for me all of my life. They have been a big part of it, and we appreciate it, and I love her.
For Spectrum News, I'm Dennis Viviano.
So ends another hour, but so much more ahead here on Spectrum News 1. We're going to tell you what you need to know about the pandemic. And of course, your Weather on the One's forecast is just moments away. Until then, here are a few things that you may not have known about Ohio.
Ohio Fun Facts are sponsored by the Ohio Senior Health Insurance Information Program.
Hey. Hi. How are you? Evening. Whew. So, what's the plan?
You jump in there, the drought ends, and then the crops grow.
Everyone's happy. Right. Okay. What if instead we built some sort of system that would get the water from the river down to the fields? Like with tubes or something?
A gravity-driven water distribution network.
Yes! Huh?
You got it here?
No.
Oh. Well, everybody walked all the way up here, so...
Go on, get on with it!
In you go.
Yeah, no, you're right. I liked him.
You like everyone.
Well, I'm a people person.
Eventually, somebody realizes there's a better way to do things. Like a mobile service that's the most reliable, with the fastest overall speeds. And now with 5G. It's a better way to mobile. It's Spectrum Mobile.
Weather on the One has had a large band of precipitation.
Your morning news, weekday mornings on Spectrum News 1. Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Maybe I'll run for president, maybe I won't, but I will tell you that I'm not going to go away.
And I don't think Michigan can become the Michigan of old.
We're probably the first professional sports team in the world that was built by the fans.
We're the biggest ice cream shipper in the nation, setting the standard for American ice cream.
I get to live my dream. I mean, what more could I ask for?
Conversations, Sunday and Tuesday night at 9 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum. It's 10 o'clock. Have questions about COVID-19? Visit coronavirus.ohio.gov.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on Spectrum News 1. I'm Curtis Jackson. Let's get things started with the very latest on the coronavirus pandemic. Ohio now surpassing the 24,000 mark in terms of the number of cases in our state. That includes 1,341 deaths. Around the country, there are now more than 1.3 million cases, and we have surpassed 80,000 deaths. Also, due to virus-related shutdowns, Ohio's farmers are increasingly unable to move their pork to processing plants. That means holes in the pork supply chain, a potential for pork shortages and losses on some farms this year. And on the border between Tennessee and North Carolina, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park is seeing a surge of visitors as it reopens. Park rangers say people from 24 states are showing up, some from quarantine cities on the East Coast. We've got the latest on the pandemic in just a moment, but first, much of Ohio saw record lows this weekend. Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell joins us now. And Eric, I know that we can see these ups and downs in Ohio, but for the almost middle of the month, this seems a little bit unusual.
Yeah, this is very unusual. We're watching the threat for severe weather here tonight, the threat for frost as we head later into the week, and then a huge jump in the temperatures by the end of the week. We'll have a little weather whiplash here over the next few days. Let's get into it right now with your weather on the ones. Showers and even severe thunderstorms moving away. Now we turn our attention to the temperatures, which are on their way down, and the threat for frost by the time we get to Tuesday morning. A look at some of the storms. This was video shot from Marion County, just west of the city of Marion. What was a gustnado, almost looked like a tornado, but this was on the leading edge.
Gustnado.
So it did pick up some dirt from the field there, but this was not a tornado. No damage observed with this particular cell, but we did have reports of wind damage from many of the thunderstorms that came through. Heavy thunderstorms pushing off to the east here late tonight. Leftover showers will filter in behind it, yes. There's a chance we could have a few ice pellets or even snowflakes mix in late tonight in the northeast. Still more passing showers for the daytime tomorrow. Here's your forecast for select cities. Temperatures chilly to start the week. Upper 40s, Cleveland, Akron, Canton with some lingering showers. Mostly cloudy elsewhere. Temperatures will struggle to get to 50 in Zanesville and Lima. Your complete forecast through the week on the Ones and Minutes.
There are now more than 4 million coronavirus cases worldwide. That is according to new data from Johns Hopkins University. The United States has the most cases out of any country, with more than 1,300,000 confirmed. Spain follows close behind with 223,000. The astounding numbers come as countries around the world prepare for the reopening of their economies. The United States already in the process, but Spain is set to begin tomorrow. It is a very different way to test for the coronavirus, and it comes from what's in your toilet. Arshina Elzy explains.
What you do in the bathroom, on the toilet, that's your business that I really don't want to know about. But researchers do want to know, because, to put it simply, they say the solid waste that gets flushed down the toilet can actually help them find out where the coronavirus is.
The feces you flush goes straight here to the wastewater treatment plant, where researchers are now taking samples, studying the waste to find the coronavirus.
Our hope is to identify a so-called silent circulation of coronavirus.
Bruce Smith is the assistant superintendent of Cincinnati's Metropolitan Sewer District. He says someone who's not sick but might be carrying the virus can leave it behind in their waste without even knowing it.
We understand that the SARS-CoV-2 organism, which is what causes COVID-19 disease, that organism is shed in human waste.
It's part of the reason they've started collecting samples this week and are sending them to the EPA for analysis. If the samples come back positive, he says they can track the sample down to one of 7 major wastewater plants.
We may go outside of our wastewater facilities and actually take samples out of some sentry points.
He says they can't track the samples back to a specific house, but they can pinpoint the area where a positive waste sample came from. He says they'll then take that data and send it to the health department that can use it to prevent another outbreak.
Then we will use other data, epidemiological data, COVID, known infections, and we will trend those to know if we're going up or down in our community.
In a different kind of way, to test for the coronavirus.
Researchers say they've done these kind of studies before for the polio virus, but for the coronavirus, they say they'll be looking at what comes from your toilet for at least the next 9 months. I'm Sheena Elsie for Spectrum News.
Like many schools across the country, the University of Dayton held a virtual graduation ceremony this weekend. It's not how many seniors envisioned their college careers coming to an end. But as our Katie Kapusta tells us, the school still plans to give those students the ceremony they deserve.
Alex Powell is one of almost 1,500 students receiving an undergraduate degree at the University of Dayton this weekend. But her senior year, like most others, didn't end as planned.
There's no way that campus closes, like Dayton and Daytona, like it's not going to get canceled, like none of that could happen. And then it did, and it was like, well, shoot, like what are you supposed to do?
Alex was especially looking forward to her last semester on campus. After dealing with a desmoid tumor her entire college career, as well as playing soccer, she wanted a normal last couple of months at UD.
I was really looking forward to this semester just because this was like the first semester where I wasn't on any drugs or chemo or anything and didn't have soccer, so I was like just a student.
But instead, Alex and her fellow classmates finished the year online and with the virtual graduation celebration.
It's just not how I expected my senior year to end, that's for sure.
I dearly wish that I were looking out over a sea of your beautiful faces at UD Arena right now, but I feel your presence deep in my heart.
The video shown to all the spring graduates included messages of congratulations from professors and memories through the year. But President Eric Spina made it clear that this video would not replace a traditional commencement.
And I promise that we will come together again for a proper commencement with all the traditional pomp and circumstance.
I definitely think people would come back for it, even if they live far away, just because everybody loves Dayton so much.
Alex graduated with a pre-med degree and planned to continue school at Xavier to get a nursing degree. She says she will cherish the memories she made at UD forever, especially on the soccer field.
Other things will probably fade and I'll forget parties, whatever, but this